there is nothing that we enjoy more than a feud. Like I feel that that is what we love on Real Housewife. We thrive on it. We want to see people feuding with other people, how they're gonna react, if we can relate to that or not. So um when we have a new season, the first thing that we are looking at is like, okay, who is gonna be feuding with who? Like how is this gonna happen? Is this gonna be like a whole season thing or just like a couple days, or how this is working out? And now we are here watching the Real Housewife of Miami, and we are literally like getting into our first big feud, which is going to be between Mr. Gertie Abrera and Julia Lemigova. And I actually don't know exactly how to feel, or maybe I do. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna keep it very honest in this video about what do I feel, or what is the reason to supporting who I am supporting, right? But before we start, welcome back. I'm the real Andy of Beverly Hills. Welcome to another piece of tea. Make sure to subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. And girl, let's talk about this mess, because this is messy. I mean, the whole thing in general. I mean, if you will really think about the feud, Julia has this huge news. She invite all of the women. She does assume, and she wants to tell them, before the whole world knows, that they have adopted two boys, right? And at some point, Gordy, I think he couldn't, I know, I think he was there and then he dropped, or he couldn't get into the Zoom. There was like a mess, but she was like, instead of like really like calling or trying or see what is going on, she was like, okay, whatever. And then she kind of like texted Julia, and, Julia, instead of like telling her what happened, she decided to be petty and being like, oh, you know what, just find out when the rest of the world find out. Like, I'm not going to repeat myself, basically. And then when Gertie finally, realized what is going on, she sent a message saying, congrats, basically. This is one of those cases that both of them are wrong and right at the same time. So basically, whoever you decided to support here is going to be your favorite. And now, especially after both of them are kind of like clapping back on social media, we're going to read those statements in a second. Um, I think it all becomes on how sensitive you are and how much you are expecting from other people who are supposed to be your friends. Um, Gertie, doesn't really give a shit about Julia. And she was just like, okay, I'm there or I'm not there, whatever. She realized that, they're going to have kids. She congratulates him, whatever, right? I don't think for Gertie was such a big deal. Now, for Julia, I think she is very sensitive to this situation because, I mean, first of all, everything that happened to her son, remember, he was killed, all of that a long time ago. So I think this is her second chance to have a boy, and not only to have one but to have two. So she is so over the moon about this, and she wants to share this with the world. So because it is such a big deal to her, she is expecting that it's going to be a big deal for the rest of the world as well. So every single person who is not as excited as her automatically will be on her blacklist. But that is also not a good thing, because you cannot control other people's feelings. You cannot control other people's reactions. And when you expect so much from other people, you will get disappointed, because you will are possibly almost never get the reaction that you are actually looking for, especially if someone is not really that close to you, right? Um, I'm like, girl, I want to see how this is gonna play out. But now, they're getting into social media. So the first one was Julia. She posted a super long message with a font that is annoying, but anyways, it says, "My beautiful souls, this season you have seen a different side of me. One even I have struggled to fully explain. The truth is, just before we began filming, something life changing happened. I was given the chance to welcome two incredible boys into my life. It was sudden, emotional, and felt deeply destined. But here's the part no one saw. The adoption weren't finalized. Not yet. I was living in an emotional in between, loving these boys fiercely while navigating legal uncertainty and keeping so much of it quiet. It was overwhelming, beautiful, yes, but also fragile, scared, sacred, and stressful beyond words, which is why I was so cautious about sharing anything about them in writing. So when moments came up, like sending that strange message you all saw, I didn't always show up as my most present or thoughtful self. And when it came to Gertie, the truth is, at the time, we weren't in the close, heart connected place we had once been. Our friendship has shifted a bit. Not in anger, not in conflict, just life pulling us in different directions. So when she reached out, I was so wrapped up in protecting my own emotional chaos, I fumbled. I never meant to come off cold, careless, or bizarre. I was simply in a storm of my own. This has been a season of growth, messiness, and deep transformation. Thank you for giving me the space to talk through it imperfectly but with a full and open heart. With love always, Julia.
No,
Right?
not really. You don't really know, but we
Now
have
we
an instant
have
connection. I guess it's maybe the Eastern European thing, you know. We
Yeah.
met 18
Gertie,
years
because
ago. We
Gertie
met 15 years ago.
leaked
And then
the
met each other
text
again
messages,
8 years later.
where supposedly she's like telling her what is going to happen. You know how, like, at the end, she just said, congrats and all of that, right? Uh, Okay, I guess online for this and also. Okay, whatever. So Angeli says this proved the last time we text was June 28th, leaving her a happy birthday until her return in August, right in time for her Zoom storyline. Oops, I mean a storyline. Then her and her wife treat me like a peasant at the party. Anyways, keep watching. This is just the appetizer. She is serving this season. Keep watching. And I feel like, Gertie is honestly taking this to just a whole different level, you know? Look, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm just going to support Julia because I have never been able to connect with Gertie. Never. I think from all of the housewives, from all of the franchises, I just don't get it. I saw a bunch of people saying, like, oh, what did you treat? I mean, telling Julia, what did you treat Gertie like that? She's going through cancer. She was not going through cancer at that moment anymore, you know? And second of all, just because you're going through it doesn't mean that you can be an asshole. You know what I mean? Um, I feel that, like I was saying at the beginning, this was such a big deal for Julia. And if you knew Julia and if you have been friends with Julia before, you will know why this is such a big deal, you know? So instead of just saying congrats, I wouldn't have sent flowers. I would have been making some big gesture, saying like, I am so happy for you because you have been through so much. And when you were ready to have kids, Martina also got not one, but two cancers that she had to beat. And then out of nowhere, she got these kids. So, this is a big, big deal for Julia. I'm so sorry, but yes, in my eyes, Julia deserves a little bit more of extra love when it comes to this news. And Gertie is honestly just being petty and just, if anyone is creating a storyline out of this, it's actually Gertie because she should have known a little bit better. I don't know. This is a mess. But anyways, let me know what you guys think on the comments below. Are you Team Gertie? Are you Team Julia? And why? Let me know. And if you want to get all the tea related to the Real Housewives of Miami or any of the other Bravo shows, make sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you around. See ya. Bye.
Welcome to the Real Andy of Beverly Hills Show.